Welcome back to the show. This is Self-Advocacy Matters, where we keep it real, we keep it honest, and we talk about the stuff people don't always want to say out loud, but absolutely need to hear. Today, we're talking about peer support at the DPPC and why it's not just helpful, it's essential. So let's get into this, right?
I'll go.
Okay.
So you want my name and then what I do? Like is are we
Uh, whatever you feel like sharing.
okay? So my hello. My name is Leanne. I as a peer support leader, I meet with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities who are sexual assault survivors.
Okay. And I can't wait to learn more about that during the course of the show. Thank you for coming. Who else would like to introduce themselves?
I can go next. My name is William. I'm also a peer support leader at the Sexual Assault Response Team at the Disabled Person Protection Commission. And as a peer support leader, I'm here to walk alongside peers and help them learn new skills that help them feel right along their healing journey. Um, and some of the things we talk about are like how to have safe relationships and uh, be healthy dating and have your boundaries to be respected. So. Those are the types of things that very brief overview of what we do and what I do. So
And that is I can't stress it enough that that is super important in today's world. And thank you for sharing that. Really, I again I can't wait to hear more about it. As the show progresses. Um, and that's amazing. Thank you, William. Who else would like to go next?
Hello, my name is Courtney. I am a peer support leader with the Disabled Persons Protection Commission Sexual Assault Response Team. I am happy to have the opportunity to participate in this podcast. I hope that it will help other survivors and other people who work with people with disabilities. As a peer leader, I confidently advocate for the empowerment and growth of individuals with different abilities, ensuring they receive the support and resources necessary for their success.
And that is amazing. Um, again, I'm so glad we have advocates, peer leaders who take the time to do this important work. And again, I'm honored to be speaking with you all. Really, this is wonderful. For those who are watching, if again, if you are looking for that kind of support, we will have links for resources down in the description. We will also have access to to different like I said resources. So by all means, let me know. And yeah, with that, uh, you guys have already kind of mentioned who you are and what you do, right? So I kind of want to start by asking, like, what does your like day to day work kind of like entail? Like, what do you guys what do you guys do to to support others?
I'll go first. So I do one-on-one. Sorry, I can't. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I do one-on-one. I do peer meetings, virtual, in person, and one-on-one. We do a group called Path to Healing, so we all rotate on different topics. So we did one yesterday, and I did the healthy communication. I do a lot of presentations. Hold on. And our peer led group is provided by survivors. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
so I'll speak up. It's William again. So what I do each day here is I'll work on community projects or We have a peer support press where peers write articles. I also meet with peers individually and in groups. And I'm also out in the community. We also meet at community programs where we talk about the work we do um, to advocate and educate adult protective service providers and people with disabilities who need to know that we use our own lived experience to help them learn new skills and that really to have them understand that they're not alone and they will be believed. And that's really what we
and
do.
th- and that sounds really powerful, knowing that there are people like you guys out there that really that really help with helping people believe that they are supported and protected regarding regarding this topic. And um, that's wonderful. That's incredible. Um, and again, I can't thank you enough for doing this. Courtney, I believe you're next. What does your work look like on a day-to-day basis?
The peer support team is unique because it is led by people with different abilities. We are also survivors who share our personal experiences during our peer meetings. We build connections that inspire hope and healing. We offer peer-to-peer support to help survivors learn about different topics and learn new skills on their healing journey.
I was listening, to your answers, and one thing that really, and I realized that this wasn't part of the questions I had asked, but I find it just very interesting. If you don't mind me asking, you guys talk about like different skills that that you teach to survivors and to those affected. Can you guys elaborate a little bit more on what skills you guys teach and instruct?
So it's Leanna. Well, I have created self care games because I love talking to my peers about self care. So I've done Jeopardy, Healthy Jeopardy, Bingo, Family Feud. Um, so I think those are the games I have. So yeah. What was the question again? Sorry.
About the
It's okay.
things that we've done and created for people, basically, is what he's saying. Like,
Oh,
to learn more about the project. So, um, that I don't want to steal your thunder there.
thank you. I'm sorry, my brain is not working today.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just it just that was just a question that just popped up in my head after listening to you all talk about different things that you guys teach. And I was just wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more on that in
And
terms
then
of what you guys,
I do some of my peers like to do internet safety, so I do a presentations on with my peers on the topics they pick. So it's kind of cool. So I have a peer right now that wants to learn internet safety, so I'm going to do that with her. So it's kind of cool. I let them pick what they like.
that actually does sound really cool. Do you get like different people involved in that? Like for example, like would you ask like the police to to come in and to come and kind of talk about internet safety as well? Like
No, so
no.
I do presentate like presentations kind of thing with one on like if it's one on one I do that. So no, like
Okay.
I've created a presentation already on internet safety, so it's kind of cool what we do.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that's really cool.
We we um te teach um our peers on self-advocacy, speaking up, con consent, healthy boundaries, conflict resolution, and self-care.
That's awesome. So I was wondering my next question, right? So, um, what makes peer support different from traditional services, and why does that difference matter?
It's William, I'll start. So, peer support really is all about focusing on you and what you need. And as peer support leaders, we use our lived experiences to help you learn new skills. Now, we're not therapists and we're not counselors, but we offer tools. Our goal is to give you the tools and the information for you to be empowered in your daily life. Um, so, a little example, I want to go back to the internet safety discussion, just to fully tease that out. So we will explain how like different ways or different tools you can use to be safe, but we're giving you the tools and the information, not like dictating to someone how to do something. Does that make sense? It's kind of like um we're going to report and you decide or you take that information. Does that kind of make sense?
It does. Um,
So it's
and
safe and it's in plain it's in plain language and it's really geared towards the individual or the group. So there are some topics we will talk about individually and in groups, like self-advocacy. We could talk to an individual one-on-one, like, hey, Tom, we'll talk about self-advocacy, the way it works for you, or we'll talk about self-advocacy like I'll be doing, next month in one of our peer support groups. Um, so it's for a general broader audience.
so what I'm kind of hearing is that you tailor the experience to the way the person needs to perceive it.
Yes,
Is
everything
that
is individualized.
okay? All right. Yeah, yeah. That's perfect.
If someone, for example, um, likes, let's say, cats or something, or music, we'll build what the tools and resources and how we present the information towards something that is interested that is interesting for the person. That's how we individualize it,
Oh, that's wonderful.
and it works well.
I can imagine it does.
Just the way it's presented, like the theme or the background or pictures. If someone learns best with pictures, we'll use a lot of pictures.
I understand now. So you're tailoring the learning style to the individual.
Yes.
Okay. To me, it's when I learn best. When we're like when we are engaged, when we're actively taking part in the discussion. Um, and it's and that's why I feel like it's super important that you do exactly that. Tailoring the needs to the individual because not everyone learns the same way.
And we
So
also do the topics that they pick.
Yes,
So the,
yeah,
it's it's led by the peer.
that's even better.
Yes.
Getting their input on what they want to learn, engaging with them. That I feel is the best way people can learn.
We've all been through a lot, and our experiences can show peers that healing and growth are possible. Peer support encourages meaningful conversations about our life experiences. Peer support also helps us learn new social skills on our healing journey.
Well, actually, I'm glad you said that because and this is what I kind of wanted to ask you now, Courtney. When you talk about like different social skills, do you incorporate that into your like lessons at all in terms of like how you because I know I remember them saying everyone saying that you guys do a like an individualized approach, right? But are you able to incorporate some social skills into a lesson to help facilitate that learning as well? Or
We did the morning routine, the bedtime routine, WH questions, um, learning social skills with um, how to deal with relationships, conflict in relationships, and talking how to make friends.
And that is all super important there, Courtney. And um, I'm glad you're teaching. So my next question, right? So why is it so important for survivors with disabilities to talk to someone who's actually lived it?
So I'll go with Leanne. It's important for survivors to know that we are here to share the same experience, and we can offer helpful tools. Also, we can help them get through challenging feelings and thoughts.
Okay.
Okay, it's William. So when we share our own life stories, it changes the whole conversation, and it's no longer giving facts. It's it changes the conversation to two people talking as equals. And it doubles the impact. And as for us, we're acting as mentors too, and it's a supportive approach that we use
Um,
in this.
Courtney, did you have anything you'd like to add?
yeah,
Go ahead.
empowerment looks like building confidence. It involves our peers being engaged in the process of learning and mastering new skills. This allows us to take charge of our own life and decisions during our healing journey.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from all of you is that the reason it's so important that we talk about it is because we can empower each other to kind of heal from from each other, right? Like
Yes.
the more you talk about things, the more you open up, the better it will start to get over time. Is that kind of what I'm hearing from everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
you are. Yes.
Perfect. And I have to say that is that's valid. A lot of a lot of people who have experienced trauma, um, they talking about it is such a powerful tool in terms of healing. My next question, right? We hear the word empowerment all the time, but what does that actually look like when someone's been through abuse or neglect? Um, not the buzzword. Okay, so what does empowerment feel like for the person you're supporting?
I'll go. So I kind of did it on myself, like how I feel empowering my peers. So I feel successful when I help my peers on their healing journey of healing. It shows the survivors, and we are unstoppable.
Unstoppable. I have to agree. Like it really is empowering to help others, through this. So really, I'm so glad that someone actually said that, like the very first answer. Thank you, really. William, did you have something you'd like to add?
Yes. And empowerment helps you realize you're not alone. You're supported. You're cared for, and you speak up, and you'll be confident. Um,
So what I'm hearing from you is that it also helps to build confidence, right?
yes.
It helps to um, be more active, in terms of speaking about it, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting from you.
Yes.
Perfect. Courtney, what would you like to add?
We empower our peers with tools to be self advocates. This improves their confidence when they express themselves. I see Their improved self-esteem helps with personal growth in different areas of their lives. We provide information for our peers on the importance of healthy relationships, focusing on communication, respect, and boundaries. We recognize the importance of helping our peers understand their feelings, as this awareness can lead to greater emotional well being and stronger connections with others.
I heard, I heard kind of like the same general principle that everyone else has mentioned previously about, about empowering. What was the other word?
Unstoppable.
In terms of what you were just saying, Courtney, I'm hearing a common theme amongst all of your answers, and I have to say that when it comes to when it comes to hearing hearing this, a lot of what I'm hearing, is really just it was really about working together to to help heal, to help promote inclusivity with with peers, with within groups. Um, it's powerful. It's empowering, right? So that is wonderful. To hear that, to hear that that's what's going on. Um, so I want to ask, so can you share an example of when peer support helped someone take back control? Um, so and also confidence, independence, even just finding their voice again. What does that look like in action?
Sure, it's William. So what will often happen um, is, yes, they'll become confident. They'll make safe decisions and learn to uh, make healthy choices. And a lot of it could just be in a conversation. They might say, "Oh, last week I advocated for myself." It could be something as simple as last week I was told no, and I questioned it. I said, "Well, why are you saying no?" And it's the small steps that make a big difference,
Oh,
and it comes out in subtle ways, and it's good. It's good. It's good to know. It's good to hear when someone says, last week I was told no, I couldn't do something, or um, I was told not to do something, and I advocated for myself, and I did what I needed.
and that is extremely powerful, knowing that we're giving people the tools and the support to advocate for themselves. Um, Leanne, right? Is
Mhm.
that okay?
Yep.
Did you want to add something?
So I have like an experience I had to like to share it. So one
Okay.
of my peers that I met, she did not talk to anyone after her trauma. I shared with her that I was a survivor. It was an emotional moment for both of us, but but I felt she felt understanding and comfortable and to open up. She started to talk again. So I was the first one she talked to after her assault.
That is extremely powerful. I bet you must have felt really proud of that achievement.
I did. It was my first peer meeting ever with a survivor, so I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
Well, you know what?
That's
You got to
great.
start somewhere,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
taking that first step of of introducing yourself, of explaining why you're there, what what you can offer. At least in my eyes, it really puts like a great light on you, as like, hey, this person is extremely trustworthy. Maybe I can give them a chance to open up and and talk about what happened. Or even if they don't want to talk about it, just knowing that there's someone willing to be there to listen, um, that that makes it even more powerful of an experience, and that's awesome, really. Courtney, did you have an experience you'd like to share?
A a challenge individuals encounter when speaking up is that people have communication preferences like using plain language and visuals. These preferences must be acknowledged for effective communication. We have a voice. We may just need some accommodations.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned plain language. I wanted to ask you, Courtney, when you say plain language, do you mean like the most simplistic answers you can give? Do you mean like talking, like modifying the way you say things so other people can understand? Is that what you mean?
Mo- Modify the language so it's easier for people to under, understand.
Okay, all right. That's wonderful. So let's see. What stops people from speaking up? Like, what are the real barriers? Um, you know, like fear, retaliation, not being believed. Like, what are you guys seeing?
I'll go. It's Leanne. So I wrote, they're not going to be believed. They are making things up, feeling afraid to get others in trouble and getting in trouble themselves. So they might have their fear to report, thinking they're going to be retaliated against. If I said that right.
No, you did that. No, that was perfect. I understand completely. There's always there's that fear of, oh well, they're not going to believe me even if I say something. I completely get it.
So I don't like when people say it's because of their disability. That drives me nuts. If they're saying because of the behavior they're doing, that's because of that. And I don't like when people say that.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on
Yep.
that? Like,
So I've done a couple trainings where people ask, well, what happens if somebody says they're making it up or it's just a behavior they have because of the disability? I don't like when people say that because then it makes like us not wanting to report.
that makes a lot of sense. Because like I said, fear, retaliation, those are powerful weapons that that unfortunately prevent people from reporting in the first place. Because no one wants to get in trouble for um, you know for speaking up, right? Um, and unfortunately, there are people out there that will do that, that will threaten retaliation, and unfortunately it does stop people from wanting to report, which understandably so, but at the same time it is so important that we do report, that we do get the story out there, because it prevents this kind of violence in the first place. So I am so glad that you brought that up. Thank you, Leanne.
You're welcome.
um, William, would you like to add anything?
I won't repeat too much of what's been said already, but what I do know is that often a lot of times, like what you said, people won't report because of retaliation and fear of making enemies with staff, fear of relationships. If someone came, uh, let's say even to me, and said, "Oh, Will, let me just tell you, something happened. Someone hurt me in my or a staff was mean to me in my home." Uh, I could say, "Well, I still have to report it." And maybe people won't want to report because of those types of situations or access to services. It's highly unlikely someone's going to report their caregiver who they need every day and who's reliable, or who is the only access to services. If that caregiver is the only person who's able to transport them and there's abuse, they're not necessarily going to report it because, well, then they don't have transportation and or something else, whatever that other thing is. So there's multiple layers to that problem of why people on an individual level may not report.
And that makes total sense. It's really important, that we say something, right? And that's like one of the big messages I want to get across to everyone is that, you know, I understand that, that you need support, that you need the assistance of like van drivers, staff members, but at the end of the day, we can always they can always replace, those employees, right?
Right.
You shouldn't be stuck, with someone that you're afraid of, you know.
Right.
You know, never be afraid to speak up to make change, because that is really what advocacy is all about. Courtney, would you like to add anything, or?
Mm, I think that's good.
Okay, okay, great. So my next question, right? So one thing that people don't always understand, right? You don't have to be ready to report to deserve support. So how do you show up for someone who doesn't feel like they're ready to self-report yet, right?
Yeah. So I'm William. I'll start with this. So we're here to support you, even if you aren't ready to report, because
I know.
taking things at your own pace is a big, big component of being empowered. Uh, but what we do teach and give tools on is learning how to recognize, respond to, and report abuse. And these skills are helpful in multiple ways. Um, they help you look out for yourself, but they help you look out for others who might be in trouble. Um, and that's great because, you may just think like what someone might think, like what we talked about earlier. A client is someone's behaving a certain way and not realizing that that person that's maybe doing a self-injurious behavior or something is behaving a certain way in a situation or because of maybe it's around a staff. So there's all those things that you learn, but the main thing is to teach from the empowerment piece to say, hey, I know what the importance of reporting and I know to tell someone, hey, if you're scared, I'll help you report. So that's the really the end goal. Is we want the person to walk away from that, the learning, knowing they can report for themselves, but they can tell the person next to them, it's okay. It's okay to report.
Leanne, did you want to weigh in?
Courtney can go next if she'd like.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, Courtney.
Yes, we can empower the peer by having them join our Path to Healing group or PSN, where they will find community and support, as well as providing them with valuable resources for their healing journey. We share information that can keep them safe and informed.
Oh, that again, that is a wonderful message, for those who are listening. I feel like it kind of like really highlighted what William had said earlier about, about having like that team, right? Having that like ability to sit beside someone and say, you know, it's okay. We'll do this together. You're not alone, right? And I think that's kind of like what you were saying there, Courtney, right? Is that kind of the gist of what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Did anyone would anyone else like to weigh in, or?
I'll weigh in. So yes, we can help them by giving them tips and how they can expect, like how they expect the reports going. Like we can get them processed. Like I'm trying to explain it. Hold on. Like make the process easier for them.
All right, I'm not sure I'm following with what you're
Okay.
saying there.
So like, sorry, I want to make them feel more comfortable, like on what the questions, the if they do report abuse, like what questions they're gonna ask.
Oh, so you kind of like want to help prepare them ahead of time and say, to give them like like that background before they go. Because a lot of people with disabilities, like myself, for instance, we prefer having that background knowledge ahead of time where we're not blindsided by so what exactly happened on such and such day. Like I like to know ahead of time, hey, that this is what they're going to ask, this is what they're expecting, so I can kind of formulate my answers to best fit what they're asking. And that's such again that is such a powerful that's such a powerful way of handling it. So that's great.
I
Yeah.
I made a reporting guide.
Do you have that resource available for for people who would like to use that guide?
Yes, we
Perfect. Yeah,
we give that to people with disabilities.
that's great. Is there a way you could maybe send it to me or Amber so that way we can have that as a resource for those who may need it?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we can talk after the show about about getting about getting that resource and available. But I'm so happy that you have that because again like having resources like that is I feel is very beneficial in terms of um, having having different ways to make the process easier, right? So that's great that you have that. Thank you. Um, really, wow, I'm actually speechless. Like I didn't realize that you had a guide in the first place. That's wonderful. So before I become tongue tied over it, I wanted to ask. Um, I don't know if I asked this one already, but when they are ready, how do you walk with them through the reporting process without taking that power away from them?
I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm unclear on the question.
Okay, so I guess what I'm asking, right? So like when they are ready to report, what had happened, right? When they are ready to to discuss, what they went through,
Hmm.
um, how do you how do you best support them in terms of without taking without taking the too much attention away from them?
I can give an example.
Please.
Uh, every peer has the right to decide if they want to share their story with us, and we fully support those who choose to keep it private. We support their decisions as they navigate their unique journey towards healing. We actively listen to our peers without judgment as they navigate their healing journey. Their experiences matter, and we're here to support them every step of the way.
All right. So what I'm hearing, right, is that you really make the experience about them by letting them choose whether or not they want to identify themselves, right? Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't we don't want them to identify them as a survivor. They get to choose if they want to let us know if what happened to them. We
Okay.
we make it about them.
Okay. Perfect. Do you now in terms of like how you actually go about like reporting, like are you able to keep like their identity anonymous? Like, are you able to like say, this person came to me with with this concern, but they don't want to share like their identity. Like, are you able to are you able to give the individual that choice?
So I can answer that.
Okay.
Sorry, it's Leanne. So they can be anonymous, like they don't have to give their name, and that's to the intake. So like if they are reporting and they don't feel comfortable giving their name, it's fine. But even if they don't know everything that happened step by step, that's okay too.
Okay, so they don't have to know. They don't have to understand the full story of what happened. They just need to know. Um,
So like just say with me, like if I was assaulted. So if I reported assault, but I don't remember everything that happened, it's okay. Like they can.
they can kind of piece that together
Yes,
as
that's what I'm trying to
okay.
say. Thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, not a problem. And actually, that's wonderful that they can do that. You know,
Yeah, and
I
I know if when they report, they get our services. It'll go to the manager of the navigator, and then they split it up.
oh, so once they report, they automatically get support and services. Well, that's amazing. Really, like, um, wow. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. That's really cool. So like I guess my follow up question to that would be, so like how do you guys like so how does that work exactly? Like is there do they get put in like a database of sorts and you guys are able to see off of that database like who just
Yeah.
reported what?
So we have a database. So the navigators that are like the people that connect to them first, they get their case, and then they like talk to them what happened and like offer them resources, and then whatever the resources is peer support, so they can offer that. But I also like to share, even if like just say I didn't want services now, but down the road they can reopen the case without going through the hotline again. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, no, that does sound awesome actually.
Yeah, and the
Especially.
services have don't cost.
I'm sorry, what was that, Willen?
The clients don't pay for the services.
Oh, so is this like a state funded service? Is that how that
So
works?
we're funded through MOVA
Mova and
and
then
VOCA. So they give us a grant. So we're grant funded for our unit, and then other services we do, navigators and peer support, they don't cost. So we're
yeah,
funded
that's
with,
free to the client.
yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful.
And then we work with Project Impact for other local services.
That is wonderful, especially for those of like low income housing that
Yes.
that can't afford it. Like that's great. So I guess my next question. So, what are some of the biggest like misconceptions about adults with disabilities when it comes to self advocacy, and how damaging are those assumptions?
I could take this. A misconception could be that an adult with a disability is um, not 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 like an adult or doesn't have the awareness of what's going on, or from the advocacy piece, just doesn't doesn't know what's available to them. You're obviously asking in a very general sense. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, I think that sounds about
You
right.
know, what comes up in a lot of situations, it goes back to what we talked about earlier in a lot of these situations where the person with the disability is perceived either not to be believed or misunderstood, um, and that's highly unfortunate just because they should be believed, they should be understood and not dismissed, really.
Yeah, no, and I agree. Like we were talking about earlier in terms of like not being believed or or perceived to be inaccurate, right? Um, I have to agree that those are like some pretty big misconceptions regarding regarding it, and personally, it is damaging,
Yeah.
because those who want to speak up, right, they're taught that if I speak up, no one's going to believe me, right, and that goes back to what
Well,
we were
yeah, or if I speak up, I'm the problem
exactly.
when, right.
and that's another powerful piece too, is that you're not the problem. The problem is the person that caused this in the first place. So it's really important that that those who are listening out there, right? Again, it's not, you're not the problem for reporting. It's the person who did this in the first place. They're the problem. They're the ones that need to be dealt with. Um, so yeah, that's a great example. There's some great examples, of those assumptions. Courtney, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. A common misconception about people with disabilities is the lack of ability to advocate for themselves. Their voices and experiences matter. People may not believe the experiences and stories shared by people with different abilities. Our voices matter.
Okay, and you know what? That I have to agree with you. Our voices do matter in terms of, in terms of reporting, in terms of speaking up for yourself and others, and that is the greatest. That's the greatest. Thing you have is your voice, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
people may not believe our what happened to us. Like if you try to um explain in court what happened to you and share what happened to you, um, they may not believe you.
exactly. Did you want to add something, Leah?
So the question you asked, I said people who have a disability often are told that they do not have a voice or are not able to make choices for themselves.
Oh, the last two I have
We've
for
gone
you,
through it.
right? Um, if someone's listening, is thinking this is me or this is someone I care about, what should they do next? Like, what is the first step?
So it's William. It can really feel overwhelming. Um, when you think someone needs help, but you don't have to. Uh, you don't have to feel overwhelmed with it. Uh, but you're not alone. But if you're concerned about someone, the first step really is to have that conversation. Try to have that conversation and ask the probe, the questions. Just even just ask someone, check in with them. How are you? And ask them how they are, and ass- and you can always direct them or help them call the DPPC intake or another professional. Of course, if someone's in immediate danger, of course you'd call local services. But what I want to really get at from this, it's really starting by having a conversation, and I think, um, like what you're saying, people don't know. Well, how do I have that conversation? Well, start small, and eventually you'll get to the answer.
And you know what? That is wonderful advice, right? Because again, not everyone knows really how to start that conversation because it is a difficult conversation.
Mm.
Yeah,
People aren't just gonna advertise like a highway billboard. Oh, hey, this happened to me, right? It takes some time to kind of build up to being able to talk about it, and that's starting small is a wonderful first step, in heading in the right direction of being able to open up, right? So that's wonderful. Courtney, did you have something you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think the first step um is building a rapport with the survivor, and you should let a trusted person know if you have been abused so that they can help you get the right support. Reporting abuse and neglect to the DPPC hotline can help you be safe and get the services you need. Everyone has the right to be healthy, to
Mhm.
be safe, and have dreams that they want to accomplish. Everyone also deserves to get the services they need to be their best self. Reporting concerns ensures safety and access to needed services. It also empowers you to share your concerns, even if others may disagree. Remember, expressing your concerns is not just important, it's empowering. Know your rights and stand tall as a self advocate.
The last question I have, right, I really want, and I'm really glad I saved this one for last. For anyone out there who feels unheard, overlooked, or like their voice doesn't matter, what would you like to say to them?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay.
So we always start by believing and offering. Sorry, we always start by believing and helping is available. Our 24-hour hotline.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the hotline. Do you by any chance, would you be able to send us that number for the hotline to perfect?
And I just wanted to add, if it's okay, so there we have two different applications that our peer support team was a part of that are resources to those in the community. One of them is the R3 app, which is an app that provides support on recognizing, reporting, and responding to abuse. Individuals who engage with the app will be able to have an understanding of the different types of abuse. There's also an opportunity for folks to put their trusted person there. So, and also to an opportunity for folks to check in with themselves to understand how they're feeling about the information, as well as being supported around the various aspects of abuse and a way to self-report. And on the other end of that, we have a self-care app, which is called the S2. And that application provides support to individuals to do various things, whether it's there's a Zen room, there's some drawing, there's music there, and it really allows for folks to provide a space. Everybody uses their phone to have some fun and interactive ways to engage in self care, learn about what self care is. And Patty Quattieri, she actually is one of the avatars, which is pretty cool to be able to have her be a part of that as she was the visionary for that as well. So
Oh,
I
wow.
just wanted to add that in there as a resource. I'm happy to be able to send you over all of the different flyers that we have in terms of what we offer so that you can share it with those that may benefit from that. Please share our Path to Healing groups. You don't have to directly work with DPPC in order to attend those groups, but it really is a fun and safe place for folks to learn about different core skills like online dating. I know that folks attested to this earlier, but it really gives folks a fun opportunity to meet new people, but also learn some great skills that our peer support leaders provide and they educate folks on. So I just wanted to jump in on that and just
Yeah,
provide.
no, I'm so glad you did. Like that is amazing, actually. Because like I was just mentioning, that I didn't hear about half these resources when I first when we first connected. So hearing about them now is incredible. I feel like like I said, I feel like I've learned a lot from you all in terms, of what's out there, of how we can better assist those who need the support. So I
Um,
yeah.
I also have my final thoughts and message. You are not alone. your assault was not your fault. Someone who has been through it, like me, can help you. Keep advocating or speaking out for what you need until you are heard.
And that, Courtney, is a very powerful message. I'm sure anyone listening would really appreciate what you just said. Um,
Um,
because yeah, you were saying,
I have some more.
but please continue.
Uh, we are dedicated to engaging in adv advocacy and making positive impacts in the community. Through these efforts, we aim to create an environment where individuals with different abilities can access the necessary services they need. We show our peers that healing from trauma is not only possible, but also a journey worth embracing. I'm, I'm good.
Okay.
We're we're out there in the community. We go to I might have said earlier, we go to different events. Um, I've been at different events with different organizations or the Mass Advocates Conference. It's a balancing act, right? Because we also want people to know that yes, we're here to provide those services for this crucial need, but we're also here to be in the community and to have fun. Like last this summer, we were like a game day event. We had like the self-care bingo set up, and we just had that communal involvement. So we we, we do a little bit of it all, sort of where we can. But so people don't just think, oh, DPPC or the because our team is the sexual assault response team. Oh, it's all just it's bad. It's not all bad. It's we're here to be a resource and we're here to serve a community that's often underserved. I mean, it's the reality of it. But in building community, we also know that people who are disabled are more isolated and sometimes just need that resource or that an extra support when there's an event. So that's what we do too. You'll see us out at events and different things, and I believe we have something we're trying to come up with again this year. So that's something we'll be talking about.
The work you guys do is incredible, right? Not only do you serve the community, but you're helping people every day, during their most vulnerable moments, and this is like very important work, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you guys do in terms of helping. I feel like I said earlier, I feel like I've learned a lot from you all. Go ahead, Leanne.
Sorry, there's something I just want to mention briefly. If you guys want more information about peer support, there is a documentary coming out soon called The Hero. So it's adult
Here's some
effective.
adult protective services.
Yes, so it's premiering soon. So if you guys want more information, once we get the link, we can send it out.
Please do. I would love to have that as another
So
resource for.
it highlights peer support. So I'm one of the stars. I just had to say that. I'm just
Hey,
excited because
you know what?
we've been waiting for 4 years for this to come out. So I'm very excited. Sorry.
Hey, you know what? By all means, I admire your enthusiasm over it. This really does sound like something I would love to share with everyone. Um, and the fact that you're one of the stars, man. Like I'm very tempted to ask if I could have your autograph. Uh, so when's the Academy Awards?
I know exactly. Who knows?
But no, I really do appreciate your guys' time today. I appreciate you coming out and speaking with me, regarding this. Um, and and if again, if there's if there's any if our viewers have any questions, I'd be happy to I'd be happy to share them with you. um but yeah, I believe I covered everything. um Again, I really want to thank you all for your time. This has been a wonderful experience, getting to to learn all about the important work you do, the impact it has on the community, as well as those who need the resources and the support. And I am very excited to get this out onto my platform to to help educate further, and really just provide the level of support that you guys are able to give. So
Thank you.
really,
Thank you for having us.
thank
Yeah.
you. um
Thank you, Scott, for all the hard work that you do and giving a platform for us to be able to share the message. I really truly believe nothing about us without us, and you guys are true testaments of that. And so I want to give you kudos for the work that you all are doing as well. And we're so thankful that you provided us with this opportunity to come and speak and talk about what we do. And hopefully, we're going to be able to help people all together and continue to collaborate in different ways so that we can continue to help those in the community and empower their voices.